Sea. Grass. More grass. Drowned. Grass. Turtles. Breed. Eggs. Breed. More eggs. More breeding. Hello and welcome back to another episode here on the OmathaCraft Season 4 server. It is episode 51, and as you saw, we started off by breeding up a whole bunch of turtles to get our hands on all of those turtle eggs. We have 3 stacks and 44, which is more than enough turtle eggs than we are going to need to finish off our gold farm. What we need to do next is gather a whole bunch of spruce wood so we can finish building it. Let's do it. Now, in the last episode, we spent a fair whack of time working over here at the gold farm, and what I've done in between episodes is got this fully completed. So as you saw in that mini time-lapse at the beginning, we gathered tons upon tons of turtle eggs, and they've all been gathered up, placed down. The trapdoors are now in place, the glass ring is in place, the string around the edge is in place. We do have a texture pack on just to make things a little bit easier to see that string, because sometimes it can get quite hard to see that. But there we go, this gold farm is actually done. And it's insane. It just, when we go up to our AFK platform, it constantly rains pigment, which is crazy. And I mean, if we just look in these chests, look at the amount of gold we are getting. It's absolutely incredible. We're getting so much rotten flesh. I'm constantly having to empty these chests just from AFKing from a very short amount of time, then crafting it up into gold blocks. And if we come and take a look over in this shulker box just over here, I'm already gathered up that without any proper AFK time. This is incredible. But now what I want to do is I want to work on the storage system. We need to make this thing ready so we don't have to constantly come down here, empty the chests and do all of that sort of business, because otherwise, well, we'll be here for a very long time, because I have to keep coming over here, burning all of this stuff here, because this just fills up ever so quickly. So yes, we've got a lot to do. So the next thing we need to do is we need to go up there onto the bottom layer, work out the distance that pigmen take full damage, and then we're going to move these platforms up a little bit so we've got some room to make a proper gold storage system. Now, I've been playing around with ideas, and I think this is roughly what we are going to build. This is just a bit of a mock-up of what we're going to do. So here we have what is going to be our collection platforms. So these will be up in the sky. Obviously, currently they're down on the bedrock ceiling, but we want them up in the sky. They are actually 2 chunks long, but currently we've only just built it for 1 chunk. What I'm thinking is we have something like this. We have this big platform of hoppers, which we already had before, which runs into 1 dispenser. Now, so that means it'll be 2 per one of the hopper collection lines. So what we have is they all feed into this automatic dispenser. When we get items in this dispenser, you'll see that is slowly filtering through. I know there's a lot of items I've just thrown into these hoppers to get this thing working. You'll see that that automatically dispenses out. That's just that small redstone circuit down there. Now what we have is down here we have a slime block, and this is boosting all of the items down onto this ice stream. Now we are dispensing these items into an ender chest. Now why are we doing that? That is to line the items over the top of the hoppers. So we'll see that those items are slightly over the top of these hoppers just here, meaning these hoppers can pick things up. Meaning in here, all we need to do is just have these item golden nugget sorters just like that. And then down at the end, we have lava, and that will destroy all the other items that we don't want to keep. So let's take a look at them. They do get picked up, maybe not by the first one, but maybe by a further one down the line. That's why we need to have a fair few along here. But if we take a look, you'll see, yeah, this thing does fill up fairly quickly, and that's just with me throwing items in, and at the speed they come in, this is going to be incredibly important. Now our piston down here, currently I'm just using a very simple hopper clock. We have 8 hoppers just in a loop like that, and you'll see that every so often we've got an item that comes around and that triggers that piston just there, which boosts those items along. So it's a fairly simple system. Obviously we can't use water because, well, water in the nether, it doesn't work. So that is why we have drawn to this conclusion. Now, I think the storage system will have all in one place. So what we might end up doing is funneling all the items into one area. So there's going to be loads of items flying around. It should look really cool. Hopefully it's not too laggy. But yeah, I think this is what I'd like to build up on the server. So the first thing we need to do is we need to work out the full distance from the farm, which is up in the sky, to the platforms down here, so everything is safe like that. We also need to make sure everything is completely spawn proof. So the likelihood is we'll use something, considering we've got lots of gold, we might use a pressure plate, maybe a lightweight pressure plate just like that. Just put these everywhere on top of everything. Or the other option is obviously make sure they're nice and lit up. So we have to make sure everything's spawn proof, make sure no zombie piglin can spawn, meaning our farm is mega efficient. We've started off by lifting up all of the hopper platforms. Now these hopper platforms have been lifted up to Y145, which is a 25 block gap from the top platform just there, or the very bottom platform just there, to this platform here, meaning if a zombie pigman spawns on that platform there, they will fall onto this platform and they will die. So that keeps us safe there. So we've got the full distance ticked off and sorted. The hopper platforms are in place. Now what we've done with the hoppers is we have them going in two directions. We have half of them going to that dropper down there and the other half going to that dropper up there. And that is split on the chunk border. So if we turn around and put the chunk borders up, you'll see that we've got 16 blocks wide there and 16 blocks wide just there. Now up here, we have the piston. Now this piston has our slime block on, and this is what's going to be shooting our items all the way down this blue ice stream. Now if we shoot an item from that sticky piston up there with that slime block on the front to this here, it will fall down this gap. If it was any longer, it wouldn't. So that's a really nice coincidence. That wasn't planned whatsoever. Now we've got to work out what we're going to do now. So my thinking was we've got to funnel all the items together to the same location. Now how are we going to do that? So we've now going to have all of the items in this line just here, because these droppers, they're going to dispense them down. So I think what we're going to do now is we're going to get an ice stream running across here. But that's when we've got to work out, well, how do we get them into one? Because obviously we've got one there, we've got a pile there, a pile there, and a pile there. So I think we're just going to have to think about this on the go, see what we can come up with. But this is a really interesting project, but I tell you what, it looks really cool already. We're using the sea lanterns, making sure everything's really nice and bright, and when we start doing redstone, we're going to use it on gold blocks because, well, we've got tons of them and it will really suit the area. Now, I have spent a fair whack of time finagling and tweaking things and trying to make it work, and I have run into some issues. Now what we have is we have 4 different collection systems, which is a problem in itself because that's a lot of different things and items to funnel all over the place. So this is roughly what we have come up with. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess, I've got to be honest, but what we have is we have these systems over here. So all the items from this collection system will end up on this block down here. Now this piston will shoot them down this item stream and they will put them into those hoppers. I was hoping not to use hoppers again, but that's the only way I've been able to get around this. Now these hoppers funnel it into this one dropper down here, and that dropper is then going to be our storage system along this line down there. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess, but that dropper is going to dispense things on there, and obviously that piston there is going to be the one that's firing all our items down there. Yeah, it's really tight, really compact, but hopefully we're going to be able to fit all of our redstone into this thing. So we've obviously got the same on the other side. The dimensions are a little bit different on each side, but we've done some testing and bits and pieces, and as you can see, I've been using my gold blocks and buttons just here to make sure everything is going to be working. But as far as I can tell, it will be. But now what we've got to do is I want to wire up the storage system next. So the storage system is going to be going along here. I think we're going to maybe get about 6 or 7 sections for the nuggets, and maybe 1 for the ingots. I think every so often they may be able to drop an ingot. I'm not too sure. I might have to double check the loot tables for that one. And then obviously we're going to burn the rest of the items. We don't want to keep those, and that means that we should be able to get enough chests down here to store a good bulk amount of items, and so we can craft them up into gold and golden ingots and golden blocks and all those kind of bits and pieces, so we can start trading with piglins. But yeah, no, I think this should work. So that's the next game. The next thing we need to do is start linking up and building up these storage systems. Once that's done, we can then wire up the individual bits of redstone, and we're there or thereabouts done. Redstone wiring has been done, hopper streams have been placed in, ice streams have been placed in, and we have a lot going on around here. I mean, take a look at this. So obviously our dispensers are now in place, and all of these ice streams now link up, throwing items all over the place. Now, as you can see, there are still issues in places of areas we need to fix up. Now, there are some tweaks because we obviously are losing items down there, so we will have to take a further look at that. But the basis is now in place, and gold is slowly filtering down into our systems down here, which is really, really cool to see. So I think what we need to do is go AFK, take a look at how this works, see if we can make any changes to decrease the amount of loss we are getting. I went AFK and a lot of gold has been produced. How many double chests have we got here? Okay, so we're filling up that there. Is that one there filled up? So that's filled up there. So, wow. Yeah, we've got a lot of gold. I wasn't AFK for that long, but now what we want to do is craft this all up into gold blocks. Now, there still is issues in the farm where we're getting some losses. Some items are getting stuck in certain places. I'm still unsure a little bit why. So we do have this issue where things will group up just after the slime block there, and this seems to happen quite regularly on all of them. I just picked those items up that were just there, but yeah, you'll see that these seem to happen fairly regularly on all of them. I mean, it's not massive losses, but it's a bit of a shame that that is still happening. So we're definitely going to have to do a bit more tweaking around with this design and see what we can do to make this even more efficient. And but apart from that, down here on this end, things are being okay, but there is still a couple of issues where items are managing to escape from the system down onto the floor down here, which I'm still unsure where they're actually coming from. But for now, what we want to do is craft up these into gold blocks. Then we're going to go and set up our very own PIGLIN bartering system. And from what we had lying around in those chests, this is what we've crafted up: a stack of 45 gold blocks, plus what we've already got lying around in here, plus a little bit that's over there. I'd say that is a good amount for what we want to get started with. Now let's go and pack up all of our shulkers and bits and pieces. We'll return to this project at a bit of a later date, but now we've got a good source of gold, we can start playing around with the piglins. And here we have a super simple piglin trading unit. Take a look at this. This is really simple. Now, I'm surprised I haven't really seen this done before. It's just a really simple way. The gold is automatically dispensed. The piglin automatically picks it up, it trades, and it picks up another bit of gold. It's really simple. Let's take a look at it. So what we have going on is down there we have actually a gold-weighted pressure plate. So that's one of those gold pressure plates which obviously blends in really well with the gold blocks. You can't really actually see it's there. But whenever there's an item on that, it will turn this redstone torch off. Meaning when the item gets picked up by the piglin, the redstone torch turns on, dispenses another piece of gold onto the pressure plate, and the circuit just loops round. Now let's say, for example, we pick up that bit of gold. Well, then we've got a bit of an issue because this pig, can we stop the system like that? Thank you. There we go. So as we can see, there's no gold, so we can pretend there's no gold left in the system, nothing's been dispensed out. We can then restock it, and if we then press this button here, that restarts the system. Yeah, it's that simple. We can have a reset line in case we run out of gold, and then we just have a hop down here picking up the items, which will run into a storage system. Yeah, super simple. I think all we're going to need is maybe 3 of these. They produce so many items, it's a bit insane. And if we're just staying around for a little while, this has been running for less than 2 minutes, and that's what we've got already. Yeah, I think we only need maybe 3 in place, and I think we can put this in our base, which will be a really nice location for this. So let's get onto the server, let's build this up, and let's get loads and loads of awesome items. I've got to be honest, I don't know if this is going to work or not. So this is the system we've set up. We've captured 3 piglins, and you'll see if we drop down there up the top, there is that dropper up there and that item. We also have, yep, so we have that on each individual one. We have the hopper down, they're standing on a carpet. We have a button, we have a lever set up, and I have just noticed there is an item. Was that an item sitting on top of one of those blocks up there? Yeah, right, we need to remove that, otherwise this system won't work. So let's go up there, quickly grab that item, and just stop this system from breaking itself. Let's grab it just like that. We're just going to place those back in place. That piglin doesn't get aggravated at us, and I think we should be okay. They seem to be a bit angry at us, bearing by the noises, but I think if we press that button just once, that'll just clear out the droppers, just to make sure there's no items left inside of them, which there doesn't seem to be. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to put a little bit of gold. So where's our gold box? Just over here. Let's convert just a little bit of this into golden ingots, and we're going to place this in the chest up there, and you'll see that is getting drained out really quickly. We have a hopper minecart up there. I'm going to show the system off in just a minute. Now we're going to flick that just like that. That's going to start filling up this system, so hopefully these hoppers will start getting filled with different items. So this is the filling system. Now the system won't work if that lever is on, so we're just going to let those items spread out so that minecart is dropping backwards and forwards, filling up those hoppers. Now what we're going to do is hopefully we're going to flick off that lever just like that, and they have been given items. That is what we like to see. We like that a lot. Yes, we like that. This is great, it works. So this button here isn't really needed. I thought this actually activates the droppers once again. That's a sort of a manual activation. I don't think we're going to need it. This lever does it all. That's amazing. Yes. Look at this, items are flowing through the system. This is what we like to see. Yes, yes, yes. And now with that all kind of functioning, what I wanted to do is give it a proper test run. Now what I've done is I've just linked up some chests just down here. I've filtered out a couple of the items I don't want to keep. But in the future, I think what we'll do is we're going to set up a proper storage system. We've obviously got this free wall here. We've got this free wall here to properly be... Okay. Maybe, I'm guessing there was a piglin fight up there and these guys thought they were part of it and thought they'd have a quick dance. Well, I'll leave you guys to it, but I think what I want to do now is get you trading some gold. So let's convert all of that into golden ingots just like that, and we're going to place in, let's put in 4 stacks just like that. Let's let that filter through into the system, and we'll go and activate this. So let's let that go through. And there we go, let's flick that on and I'll leave that to run, fill up the droppers for a little bit, and once that's done, let's activate this thing, get these guys trading, and there's a couple of other bits I want to show you before we wrap up today's video. And that didn't take much time at all. Those guys are already trading. We can see the items already rolling into the system, which is really cool to see. I tell you what, I love this bartering mechanics. I know there are some tweaks coming in 1.16.2, but it is still fairly overpowered, and there are still a lot of items we can get from this, which make things really, really cool and fun to play with. So I'm really, really pleased to have those guys set up. Now, there's one thing I am looking for in particular is glowstone dust, which will be removed in 1.16.2, and I'm also looking for any crying obsidian, which we don't seem to have. I've got one bit in my inventory, as you can see, but apart from that, oh, there we go, we've got a few bits coming through. That's what we like to see. Let's hope we get a bit more and we can maybe craft up another respawn anchor. And a little bit more crying obsidian has come through the system. I've grabbed up some glowstone and I've crafted a couple of respawn anchors because we are going to start stocking our shop from today's episode onwards. Hopefully we're going to make some good amount of profit from this place, and it might just help people out a lot. So as you can see, I've already put some respawn anchors in here. Let's go and add another couple just on the side like that. You know what, should we put them there? Yeah, let's put them there. And as we can see, we are selling these for 2 diamonds per 1 respawn anchor. That's really, really cheap. You don't have to do anything for it. You can set loads of these up all over the nether, so you're nice and safe. And the other thing I'm going to be selling is glowstone for the time being. Now I'm going to sell this for half stacks. If we pop this in here, we're going to be selling glowstone for 1 diamond per half a stack, which again is really, really cheap. So there's really, really good stores of glowstone, even if you don't want it for the respawn anchor. But you will then be able to grab yourself a full respawn anchor set, which will last you for a fair old while for 3 diamonds, which is not bad at all. So that's what I'm going to be doing in between episodes, because obviously I need to restock. I need to stock that up a lot more than just the 1 set. But once that is done, hopefully we'll start making some good profit off of this thing. And yeah, these guys down here, they are doing their business. They are rolling through with all of the different bits and pieces that we want from this system. However, this video is going out in a couple of short hours, so thank you very much for watching today's video. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new, because it really does help out the channel quite a bit. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.